It can be shown without too much difficulty that the vast majority of society's ills in fact stem from the ongoing energy crisis. It could be argued that the real problems are food shortages and lack of materials. What must be understood, however, is that with proper technology, energy becomes the currency of nature. For example, with enough energy, we already know processes that could enable us to recycle nearly anything that we create. Likewise, with enough energy, food can be grown on the ocean, underground, or even on the moon to feed the hungry of the world. Over a decade ago, two brilliant scientists, Klaus Lackner and Christopher Wendt, had a wonderful vision. They saw a method whereby automated machines could toil in the desert, using solar power to turn desert sand into more solar panels and more machines. They called this wonder the Oxon Project. The expense to develop the necessary robotics and software may seem overwhelming and almost ridiculous if not fully understood. Suffice to say, the type of research think tank that we would need to put together has been created before, but never for preservation of mankind and planet, only for the development of weapons. Considering what we are capable of, and also considering the very rapidly rising costs of energy for everything that we do, it only makes sense that this technology should be number one priority of all industrialized nations. The trick here is that an energy revolution would change every aspect of human life. Automation, which was heralded as being the means to cut the human work week, in truth only served to make the wealthy even more profit. In reality, much manual labor that is done now by human hands could be automated, and the net savings and effort should be something that everyone benefits from, not just a select few. Lackner and Wendt projected energy production in excess of 200 times the current energy production of the entire human race, and this was with one massive facility in the Sahara Desert. Obviously, it would only be fair and wise if smaller facilities were dotted around the arid and sunlit regions of the world, supplying the energy needs of those nearby. Likewise, with energy production in such excess, it would also only be fair and just to provide this energy for free to the people, for whatever they need it for. Businesses should also be afforded free access to this energy, if they comply with certain environmental responsibilities and limit their profit structure so as to allow all to benefit from this new freedom. As robotics technologies are developed to make use of the astounding surplus of energy, we will find ourselves capable of a great many things that were previously only possible in fiction. Traveling for vacation and fun, for example, would become nearly free other than the cost of the crew involved. Even beyond that, space travel would be incredibly simplified, no longer needing enormous amounts of hazardous chemical fuels for every launch. Only liquid hydrogen would need to be burned, resulting in nothing but water vapor. For that matter, fossil fuels as a whole would become obsolete almost overnight, reducing our most direct contribution to the phenomenon known as climate change. One of the things that I am personally most excited about is the power we will gain over our own waste and recycling. High-energy processes that today are far too expensive to even look at can reduce nearly anything that we produce to its basic components, yielding raw materials for the production of new goods without ripping up the earth or cutting down forests. We must remember, the USA comprises only 5% of the world's population, yet we manage to consume 25% of the energy and fuel that is created. We also use far more than our share of the material resources of the world in order to support our highly consumeristic lifestyle. Obviously, there is not enough gas, coal, tin, aluminum, wood, or fresh water to get the rest of the world anywhere near our standard of living. Therefore, I feel that it is primarily our responsibility to use this resource and technology advantage to spearhead the development of the Oxon Project. And then, in a gesture of goodwill, and to justify how we have dominated the rest of the world in the struggle to have access to these resources, share this source of energy with all. Perhaps if we can do this for the world, we will see our enemies' hearts soften and our own hunger fade. Solar panels alone are of course not the only answer, but if done right, they can give us the means to do anything that we wish to. It's just a matter of discovering what we really desire and building towards that future.